Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for this masterclass, which talks about the satisfied woman's checklist, our absolute non-negotiables for a thriving relationship. It's my great pleasure and honor to have you here with me for this experience because I don't have any doubt that what I'm about to present to you is going to make an enormous difference, not only in your love life, but in your journey towards becoming the satisfied woman. Let me take just a moment to introduce myself because it's very possible that we haven't met before or that you're new to my work. I am Alanna Kaivalya, and I'm the author of The Way of the Satisfied Woman, Reclaiming Feminine Power. Now, this book is the ladies' primer, the ultimate guide for you as a modern-day woman. And I've been teaching about this work, researching this work, writing about this work, and producing online courses about this work for nearly 2 decades. Not only that, I have a Ph.D. in this field to help me help you become a more satisfied woman. I'm incredibly passionate about this work. And as I talk to women about their pathway towards satisfaction, about all of the things that need to be adjusted in this life of ours so that we can truly reclaim our feminine power and lean into our feminine essence, the number one topic of conversation always centers around relationship. Now, that's not terribly surprising to me because relationships are important to us as feminine women. For those of us who lean toward the feminine polarity, we naturally desire relationship, communication, collaboration, connection. We actually thrive when we're in relationship. And I know that the narrative of this particular culture that we live in really emphasizes individuality, do it yourself, be all things for yourself and also for all people at all times. But that incredible emphasis on individuality is draining for the feminine woman. It exhausts us. It puts us out of touch with who we really are. And certainly a level of independence and the ability to have self-reliance is really important in our culture and in this day and age. It's not about being independent to your detriment. It's about finding a level of interdependence. And yes, our friendships, our coworkers, our family members will give us some of that experience to some extent, but it truly is being in relationship with our chosen partner, our soulmate, that gets us closer to that feeling that we desire as feminine women, which is ultimate connection, not only to someone else, but to ourselves. So I'm not saying that as women we must be in a relationship. I'm not even dictating the terms of the relationship. It doesn't matter to me whether it's short-term, long-term, whether you find one person for the rest of your life, several people, the nature or the orientation of that relationship, that is all up to you. But in my research, one thing that I do know and understand is that at some point in all our lives, we will desire relationship. In fact, our psyche, our brains are hardwired for connection. So if that's you, if you desire to find the right person, the right partnership, then I'm so glad you're here with me on this masterclass because I'm about to give you the non-negotiables, the checklist to make sure that you don't paint red flags green and that you actually find a person that not only you can connect with, but someone that is your soulmate, someone who unlocks the depths and the recesses of your heart so that you can connect more fully to your femininity, release the mask of the masculine that we as women in this culture have to wear and brace ourselves with every day, and actually receive the joy, the pleasure, and the love that you deserve. Now, this masterclass actually comes from my course, From Self to Soulmate, Attracting the Relationship You Deserve. That is a master course, a life course designed to walk you from start to finish through the process of embodying and embracing your own femininity to make sure that the relationship you find yourself in is exactly the right one for you. One of the biggest traps we fall into as women in this modern day culture is putting on this mask of masculinity so fiercely that we actually give others the wrong impression. We show the world that we're so capable in the masculine polarity that we attract something that we don't need. Because, as the old saying goes, opposites do attract. And if you truly are on the feminine polarity, if being more in your feminine essence is something that you desire, then wearing the mask of the masculine is not going to attract what you want. So this larger course gets you in touch with your feminine, gives you the tools to attract the relationship or even keep the relationship that you deserve, and to make sure that your relationship is serving your highest needs and wishes as a feminine woman. Now, if you stay till the end with me here on this masterclass, I'm going to give you a special opportunity to get that full course in a way that will benefit you so greatly and give you that extra discount that we as ladies all love. So make sure to stay to the end to get that incredible bonus offer and that discount that I have for you just today, so that I honor your time and actually help you get even further on your desired pathway toward finding love. Because we all want it, let's be honest. There is no weakness in finding love. There is no weakness in wanting love. It doesn't mean that we've failed in any way, shape, or form or given up. And in fact, doesn't make us less than when we want or when we find a partner. Finding the right partner, finding that perfect complement to who we are as a feminine woman, is probably the greatest opportunity we have to shine and truly feel safe and expressive in our femininity. So fulfilling partnerships are built on foundational elements, and this is the non-negotiable thing that I'm talking about. When I give you a checklist, there's going to be 4 items, and they all grow out of the work of my book, The Way of the Satisfied Woman. And essentially what they are what I call the 4 keys. I'm going to teach you about the 4 keys and how they are the foundation for the right partnership that will allow you to thrive. These are standards that should never be compromised when seeking a masculine partner. Now, again, I'm not going to tell you the format of your partnership, right? If you are an individual who identifies with the feminine more than the masculine, we all as people have both feminine and masculine within us. We can move back and forth between them. But for those of us who lean toward the feminine polarity, regardless of the body we inhabit, we are going to want to attract someone who's on the masculine polarity, regardless of the body they inhabit. So this isn't about gender, lifestyle, orientation. This isn't about a certain old school idea of what relationship should look like. I want it to look like the way that you need it to look like. And if you identify as a feminine woman, then a masculine partner is going to be the thing that really helps you shine and magnify your femininity, to really connect with it. So these 4 keys are at the heart of any of our ability to truly lean into our femininity and walk the path of satisfaction. Now, I use that term satisfaction really deliberately because in this dominant culture that we live in, which, by the way, is the patriarchy, there's no way around it. We just have to call it like it is. It emphasizes masculine values, masculine ideals, and not even always the best masculine values or ideals. In the patriarchy, a lot of the amazing things, the amazing qualities of masculinity, they are distorted. We often call it toxic masculinity. I don't like the term toxic because it indicates something that is truly poisonous and can't be fixed. When all of these energies at their heart, they're positive, they're good, they can be of benefit, but when they become distorted, that's when we start to feel that sense of oppression or dismissal or devaluation, and we all get lost in it. This patriarchal culture doesn't actually benefit the healthy masculine any more than it benefits the feminine. In the patriarchal culture, we emphasize success. And that means a very linear, cutthroat pathway toward an end goal. There's no wavering from that pathway. And the linearity of it actually often means that it's at all costs and to the detriment of others. Well, as feminine women, we're not really all about that. There are reasons to pursue success. I love achieving goals too. But in the end, the feminine actually wants to benefit everyone around her. For us, the feeling of accomplishment in this life is going to be when all those around us feel a sense of joy, ease, comfort, when everyone benefits. And rather than try to aim for an end goal, and let's be honest, those of us who have achieved any kind of success, either we move the goalpost further and always feel unfulfilled, or once we've reached that goal, we're like, well, what do we do now? What does life mean now? So instead, I encourage satisfaction, especially for the feminine woman, because it still means there's a sense of fulfillment. The definition of satisfaction, by the way, my mind was blown when I learned this. Satisfaction is defined as the pleasure from the fulfillment of your wishes and needs. Now, pleasure is all about feminine experience. The feminine loves pleasure. When we feel pleasure and run it through our bodies, everyone around us experiences it too. It's a dynamic experience. It's a holistic experience. And this idea of satisfaction is constantly growing, evolving, and changing as we pursue our needs, as we fulfill our wishes. The goalpost doesn't have to be moved. It simply is our existence in every day. We can wake up every day and feel satisfaction with our life, with our experiences, with our career, with our family. Satisfaction is more holistic. It's more feminine. It's more grounded. It's more experiential. And it is about every facet of our lives. As satisfied women, we feel amazing about all the parts of who we are, including our relationship. But satisfaction cannot happen without these 4 keys in place, which is why they're non-negotiables. Okay, so the 4 keys, let me just go over them briefly for you, and then I'll dive into them in more detail as they pertain to our intimate relationship. Okay, because this really is, again, it's a holistic understanding of who we are as feminine women, hopefully satisfied women in today's culture. The 4 keys are, number 1, safety. That's safety in body, mind, and heart. To be free from harm on every level. Safety. Security, which means having your most important needs met, whatever you determine those needs to be. 3 is trust in both yourself as well as the world around you. If you can't trust yourself or those in your world and the world around you, there is no satisfaction. And 4 is being cherished by the masculine. The feminine needs that. Whether it is the masculine element of you cherishing the feminine part of you, really listening to your emotions, your intuition, being so keyed in and in honor of your emotions and intuition that that masculine drive, that charge within you, listens to that first, and that's how the masculine part of you moves ahead. You don't second guess yourself. You don't overthink. You don't diminish your intuition. You don't devalue your emotions. You center them as a feminine woman, and you cherish them, and it is from that place that you then move forward with your masculine energy. So that's how that cherishing happens on an internal level. But when you have relationship to others, particularly with those on the masculine polarity, what we want out of that relationship is for the masculine partner to cherish your most prized feminine qualities, which are your intuition and your emotional depth. You have lots of other feminine qualities, don't worry. But these 2 are at the front and center of who we are as feminine women, and when they are devalued, dismissed, or vilified, we all suffer. Okay, so those are the 4 keys. No satisfaction on any level in our lives happens without those being present. Whether we establish those for ourselves, which that's part of the battle, or we enlist help from those around us in our community to help establish them. That's the other part of the battle. This is a mutual process. Now, I know the patriarchy says you've got to be able to do everything by yourself. You shouldn't need anybody else. You definitely don't need a partner. But this is not the world we live in. And this is not the human beings that we are. Our brains, our psyches, our bodies, our DNA, our history, our evolution, everything is hardwired for connection and relationship. We are relational beings. I mean, good luck trying to go through life entirely on your own. It's not going to happen. And the thing that's going to cause you most problems, in all cases, are other people. We have to deal with other people. This is a relational existence. And all the narrative and dialogue in that patriarchal culture telling us that it's not, it's a lie. It just is. So as relational beings, there's part of the work that is on our own, and part of the work that we will rely on qualified people to help us with. Those that we choose, those that we invite into our life. I am also a fan of curating your existence heavily and really firing those that don't need to be there, or at least minimizing your contact with them if they are harmful or detrimental to you maintaining those 4 keys, which are the key to your satisfaction. All right, so now that we've gone over the 4 keys in brief, I'd like to go over them a little more in depth as they pertain to you finding the right masculine partner for you, a soulmate. Now, I love that word because my training is in-depth psychology. And in-depth psychology, we use that term soul to mean the unconscious part of our psyche. And the unconscious part of our psyche, it's our feminine essence. It is for everybody. And in that unconscious part are our dreams, our wishes, our emotions, our intuition, our deep desires, our creativity live there. Everything that makes us powerfully feminine is embedded in our soul, the depth of our psyche. And I want you to find someone that matches that. I want you to find someone that brings that forward, that honors that cherishes that. You deserve it. I mean, all of us do. And if you're here with me in this masterclass, then there's a part of you that not only knows you deserve it, but you're longing for it. And unfortunately, we have so much training in our lives and in our culture to paint red flags green, to see these big, glaring factors in people we're attracted to and just go, oh, it's okay. I can love them through it. Don't worry about it. I don't need that. We devalue our own needs. We set aside our own intuition in these circumstances. And unfortunately, we end up falling for the wrong person over and over again. I'm hoping that with this checklist, you'll stop doing that. And if you join me for my greater course, From Self to Soulmate, Attracting the Relationship You Deserve, you're definitely going to stop doing that. But let's at least start here. Let me at least give you these 4 things. So first of all, in terms of safety, that's number 1 on our 4 keys. We want to be free from harm in body, mind, and heart. Of course, our masculine partner needs to create a space where we feel safe physically. Absolutely. I think that for a long time that's been a non-negotiable. Even so, too many women suffer physical harm at the hands of their intimate partners. That needs to stop. That's a big red flag. And if we see that arise in any way, shape, or form, if we even feel our intuition creeping up about it, that this might turn into a person who's physically harmful, I think that's time to hit the eject button. But our masculine partner also needs to create a space where we feel physically safe, emotionally safe, and mentally safe. There's no gaslighting. There's no trying to convince us that our experience isn't true, that we're not being told we're crazy. We're safe to express ourselves, to talk about our emotions, to speak up about what's important to us. A masculine partner who can hold space for that is creating safety for us. But safety isn't just the absence of harm. It's the presence of protection. Now, the masculine, just like the feminine, has some pretty awesome qualities. I'm a big fan of both polarities, but as a feminine woman and as one who has researched femininity for the last 20 years, it's kind of my jam. I want to make sure I give the impression that I'm not in any way, shape, or form against masculinity or putting masculinity down. Both polarities are necessary. Both are awesome. What I want from both is their highest expressions. And one of the highest expressions of masculinity is protection of the feminine. Now, again, we have this internally. We can provide that on our own to some extent for a while, but I'm a big fan of outsourcing. And as a feminine woman, if we're providing protection for ourselves all the time without fail or relief, we will be exhausted. And the masculine is great at protection. The healthy masculine wants to protect the feminine, particularly the feminine that he loves. Now, that protection can come in all forms. It can come in the form of physical protection, keeping you physically safe, mentally safe, making sure that others who might be putting you down or harming you or second-guessing you or dismissing your intuition, dismissing your emotions, he can stand up to that. The masculine is excellent at being the wall that the rest of the world breaks against so that the feminine can be safe, so that the feminine can flourish. If you, as a feminine woman, are constantly walking on eggshells, feeling emotionally disregarded, then it's a sign that the relationship is not meeting this fundamental need. Now might be a good time for you to think about that. Have you in your lifetime, and I hope the answer is yes, been in the presence of the healthy masculine and felt safe in all ways, physically, mentally, emotionally? Have you been in the presence of the healthy masculine where you have felt completely safe to be who you are? Now, I hope the answer is yes, because there are good, healthy masculine partners out there. And the more that you stand in your healthy feminine, the more that that's what you will attract. That's our goal. And that's my goal when you enroll in the full course From Self to Soulmate, to help you really embody and embrace that feminine so that you're attracting that right, beautiful, soulful, healthy masculine. All right, our second non-negotiable is security. We must feel secure as the feminine. Again, no satisfaction occurs without safety, without security. Security is not just having financial security. It is about practical stability, the ability to know what's coming. You want to be provided for materially, spiritually, emotionally. I mean, what's funny about this, when I say security, most of us probably do think of that financial security and that old school idea of a man goes out and works all day and brings home the bacon. You know, we live in the modern world where we don't really need a partner for that anymore. It's fine if our partner does that, or if that's the way our relationship dynamic is set up. But we live in a very different world right now. I mean, think about it. There are privileges, choices, and agency that you and I have that even our mothers did not have. Did you know that it wasn't until 1988 that a woman could go into a bank and open up her own checking account without a male cosigner? A woman wasn't even allowed to have access to her own money up until about, 3 decades ago? So all of this agency and power that we have now, and it's still not enough, by the way, it's new, but it's precious, and it's exciting, and it's changing the landscape of relationship. 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, and more ago, intimate partnership with a masculine partner was necessary for financial security. It was necessary. You couldn't buy a house on your own. Women couldn't have their own mortgages until a few decades ago. So we actually needed a man for those things. We don't need them for that anymore. Again, if that's the way the relationship cookie crumbles and you want to set up that dynamic, absolutely fine. But the rules have shifted. And what we're asking from our partnerships now is more, and it's different. So while we, yes, do want some financial security, we certainly want a partner who is contributing, but there's a lot to contribute to that security. So we want emotional reliability as well, emotional security, that this person isn't going to be up and down, unpredictable, saying one thing one day, doing another thing next. It implies that we want some kind of shared vision for the future. We want to feel secure in what we're moving toward, in the goals that we set. Because in a partnership, shared goals and shared future ideas are critical. That's really what makes it different. Because look, we can do a lot on our own, but it's so much more exciting when we have a partner, when we can outsource a few things. We're magnified when we're in good partnership. Our power, our strength is complemented. It's enhanced. We are not diminished in the right partnership. We are empowered, we are bolstered, and we are more secure. So the really amazing masculine quality that security speaks to, like safety was all about protection, security is all about providership. And again, not necessarily that old school idea that they have to go out and earn the money. We can earn money too, okay? But what can they provide to the relationship? What can they contribute? Because the masculine providing for the feminine makes the healthy masculine feel good. And that level of generosity, I think of it as generosity, the willingness to just give of himself, is precious. And the healthy feminine receives that providership and that generosity and feels it as love, as security, as a safe way to move through the world and toward shared goals that make you both better than you would be if you were trying to do it alone. And again, there's a lot to provide. Emotional security. What about making breakfast? How about giving me some love and support? You can set the rules for what providership needs you have. That's all up to you, dear sister. It doesn't have to look a certain way. All right, let's go to number 3 for our non-negotiables, things that we will never waver on in the future. Number 3 is trust. So this implies trust in yourself and also trust in the world around you. So a healthy relationship is going to reinforce your ability to trust your intuition and to feel your emotional depth. Now, the feminine moves through life differently than the masculine. Our patriarchal culture will say that the masculine way of moving through life is more valuable, more valid, more right. It's not. It's just a different way to move through life. The masculine way to move through life is through logic and reason. And if you're a woman living in this world, I am certain that at some point you have been asked to just be more logical. Stop being so emotional. I don't know a woman on the planet that hasn't been called crazy, and probably by a person who loves her. I actually have a course about this. Stop calling us crazy. Because it's a way for the patriarchy to try and shut down and devalue our intuition. Now, what that's created is a belief, even in women, that our intuition is less valuable, that we should override it, overthink it, second guess ourselves. But I guarantee you, no one has ever been served by ignoring their intuition, especially the feminine woman. So we are not going to do that anymore. We will trust. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm speaking that out as if I can make it true. We're going to trust our intuition when it arises and move from that. We will use our logic and reason to act on our intuition. And the same thing with our emotional depth. Emotions are often dismissed. If it hasn't happened to you, I guarantee you know a woman who, when an emotional response arises, has been asked, "Oh, are you on your period?" As if that would suddenly negate the emotional response or make it incorrect. Or as if that's the only reason that a woman could be emotional, or that just because she's on her period, clearly she's not to be listened to. I mean, all of these are so dismissive of the feminine, and again, really embedded in our culture as appropriate things to say. So when this kind of thing happens, and it's especially with people who love us, we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't know any better. They were raised in this culture too. Maybe they think that's an appropriate response. We can hold the line, alert them that it's not, and see if there's change. So we want to start trusting our own intuition. Let that fuel our decision making, because that's really where the healthy feminine thrives. We are like the canaries in the coal mine. If something about our environment or our world isn't working, it's the feminine that will feel it first. It's our discomfort that will arise first. The masculine ignores discomfort. The masculine just wants to keep going on its path without, veering, without taking a turn, without stopping. It just wants to do the thing and get it done. The feminine is a little more circuitous, can take a little detour here and there, get off on an exit, rest for a minute. So we're not so fussed when things need to change. Our whole life, our whole biology, our whole makeup is all about change. We constantly change. So we're okay when discomfort arises as long as we speak it out. And when we follow our intuition or our emotional responses in order to course correct, we honor that, but the masculine partner we choose will also trust and honor that. The masculine partner will trust and center our emotional depth and our intuition as the way to move forward in decisions. Because we want, as the feminine, to trust the masculine, always have our best interests in mind. And when they do, they will be reliable, they will be truthful, and they will be consistent. A trustworthy masculine partner will always have our best interest in mind and act as if we're standing right next to them. Every action is in consideration of our well-being. So let me give you an example, a common, unfortunately, example. Let's say your masculine partner receives a text from a long ago person of interest. It happens, right? It happens. We don't know where this person got the number. They're reaching out. Who knows what's going on for them? Fine. They receive the text, and their first thought is not, oh, wow, let me respond. Their first thought is, what would you think of that? Would you be upset if I responded? If so, I'm going to block and delete or shut the person down. And then they'll tell you about it later. When the masculine partner of your choosing always acts in a way that you would approve of and feel good about, even when you're not there, that's what makes them trustworthy. You know they're not trustworthy when you feel confused, okay? We hear a lot about this term gaslighting, and we've all experienced gaslighting. I experience gaslighting as deep confusion. I'm a smart lady. I know you are too. When you feel confused about a response or something that's going on or the reason for something or the why behind something, that confusion and that self-doubt is eroding your own trust in yourself. It is quite literally crazy-making. So when confusion arises, note that as a red flag and try to get to the bottom of it. I mean, nobody's better than getting to the bottom of things than a woman. Women are natural questioners. The masculine doesn't like it, but this is how we get to the bottom of things. Women are truth seekers. We are always going to want the truth at all costs, because the truth, as they say, will set us free, and it will. All right, so that's trust. Our last non-negotiable is to be cherished by the masculine. Now, let me define cherishing for you. I have my most favorite definition for you. I love this definition, so sit back and settle in, because when I hear this definition, I have a sense of ease and relief washed over my body. So you know that the masculine cherishes the feminine when he never leaves her alone in her pain until a solution can be reached. I mean, if that's not the definition of love and showing up for your partner, I don't know what is. Because the feminine is going to feel powerfully, and pain will happen. This is life. It's always going to be ups and downs. Finding the right partner for you is not going to be conflict-free. It's going to be the ability to address and move through conflict in a way that actually makes you both stronger. Okay, conflict happens. Some people fight a lot and they're happy with each other, but if they fight well and they always know that in that fight they're going to work it out and that no matter what they still have each other's back, it's probably okay. So the masculine cherishes the feminine when he never leaves her alone in her pain until a solution is reached. He stays. He stays present to the pain. He listens to what you have to say. And the masculine is excellent at problem solving. So let's let them figure that out. Again, outsourcing. We don't have to figure everything out, especially if we have a quality, loving, masculine partner. You experience your emotions, flourish in your feminine, recognize that change needs to occur, and let them help you with that. We don't have to do everything all on our own anymore, especially when we're in partnership. So this is the presence of someone who loves you. Now, again, that healthy masculine is excellent at presence. The healthy masculine is going to be solid and steady and grounded and rooted like the wall that your pain or your emotions will break against, and he will hold that space for you. And then when you're ready, solutions will be worked on by the both of you. Maybe he'll offer one strategy or solution and you can say, you know what, that doesn't feel right. And then he says, okay, honey, how about this other strategy or solution? And you can say, well, you're getting closer. So there is a collaborative effort between the two of you where you hold that space of intuition, deep feeling, wildness, questioning, creativity, connection. And he holds that space of doing, perseverance, providership, protection. And between the two of you, again, both stronger together than apart. Now, of course, you can be strong on your own, of course. But being strong on your own all the time, forever and ever, amen, for the feminine woman in a patriarchal culture is exhausting. It's draining. And I think that's probably why so many women are so interested in finding the right partnership. But again, remember, we have to be in that feminine strength in order to magnetize and attract that strong masculine. If we're out there in the world manning up and masculining it up and DIYing every inch of our lives, where is there space for our partnership to show up? There isn't. So we have our 4 non-negotiables. Now remember, everyone has grown up in this distorted patriarchal culture with the values that you and I are trying to live through. Look, this world was not built for us. It just was not. We're here doing our best. It's difficult to be a woman. Our choices are never easy. Our pathway is going to be more difficult. I want to try to make it easier for you. I really do. That's why I've written the book. That's why I'm doing this masterclass for you. And that's why I am now going to invite you to join me on the full course from self to soulmate, attracting the relationship you deserve because you do deserve it. The world has told you you need to do it yourself because they want to drain you of all of your energy and your femininity. The world has told you that you don't need anyone else because they don't want to give anything to you. But there are those who do, and there is the right one who will. You just have to find the one, just once. You got to nail it just once. And when you find someone that you believe in and who believes in you, tell them about these 4 keys and how they can support you in them. And if they don't get it right the first time, please give them the benefit of the doubt. Another thing that we do in our culture is we write people off very quickly. Oh, you did one thing, I don't trust you, that's it, we're done. Well, depending on the thing, maybe. But a lot of us, all of us, you, me even, we need training to get this right. No one teaches us as young girls or young boys how to be a partner in a relationship. No one teaches us the values of the masculine and feminine polarity and how they are dynamic and work with each other. We can bring this information to our beloved partners. I'm bringing this information in the best ways I can to you and my audience, and I'm definitely doing it in this larger course. So in this larger course, this lecture is present, but we have a whole bunch more. I'm going to talk to you about how embodying and embracing the feminine is going to get you back in touch with yourself. It's going to allow you to be in a place of relaxation and receptivity to receive the masculine partner that you are looking for. I want to talk to you more about what partnership actually looks like when you find the right one, how to align your values, set your goals, how to identify what your needs are, and how to achieve all your wishes and dreams in partnership. This isn't pie in the sky stuff. And there are good men out there. And I want you to be in the position to attract the one masculine partner, however that looks for you, that your heart desires. Because your heart and your soul deserves it. So simply because you have taken the time to be here with me on this masterclass, right now you're seeing a special offer button just off to the side. And I want you to go ahead and click it, because that's going to open up a new window where you're going to see the offer. You can sit here with me. We'll finish our masterclass. We'll finish the talk. I'll give you a few more tidbits, but then at least that page is open, because once I close out this screen, you won't have that link to the page anymore, and the offer is going to go away. So for the next 2 days, I'm giving you the opportunity to go all in with me on my Self to Soulmate course. Get everything that you need to embody your femininity, let go of the mask of the masculine, attract your masculine partner, and I want to give you $300 off. That's going to bring the price down to only $477. Now, not only that, because I want you to save and jump in with me right away, I'm also going to give you that other course I told you about, Stop Calling Us Crazy. That Stop Calling Us Crazy course is a guide to the satisfied woman's way to survive the patriarchy every day. I know you have to wake up and go out into the world every single day. You have to brace yourself for those big meetings where you have big ideas. But if you put those big ideas out there, you're called bossy. Or when you try and speak up against some bad behavior by the masculine, that you're called bitchy. Or that when you have an emotional response, you're called crazy. These are all ways that this culture tries to repress us, but what they're actually doing is putting down incredible gifts that you as a feminine woman own. I want you to take back ownership of that. So you're going to get the Stop Calling Us Crazy course for free. And as a part of also getting the $300 off the Self to Soulmate course that's going to get you the tools that you need to find the love that you deserve, you'll get a workbook that goes along with it, giving you practical tools and daily exercises to really embody and embrace your femininity. Again, because none of us was trained how to do it. We don't have any insight, which is why I'm giving it to you. I want you to have what you need. And I've also recorded a special meditation to help you attract the right soulmate and embody your femininity. It's a simple 10-minute meditation, but listening to it daily is going to put you in the mindset to go out into the world, bringing your best feminine self forward. Now, as a part of these courses, you'll also have completely free access to my private community at the Satisfied Woman app. Yeah, that's right. I have an app. It's the future. So in this app, in this community, you're going to meet other women just like yourself. And one of the things that women really thrive with is community and collaboration. We are all in new territory. It's only been a few decades, and we're even gaining more agency and choices now to build the life that works for us. A truly satisfied life. We're only going to know what works when we share with each other and talk about it. So I've set up this community for us to do exactly that. And there's a special place inside this community just for those on the Self to Soulmate course where we talk about what it's like to attract the right one and how it's going. I spend time in this community because the women in it are phenomenal. I can't wait for you to meet them and be a part of it. We're really starting something here. All of us are at the forefront of building a world that is meant for us, of building relationships that are on our terms, not theirs. But we need the structure. We need the training. And that's what this course is for. That's what this masterclass has been about. So remember, when this window goes, so does that clickable offer. So click it, open the new window. I'll still be here with you. Make sure you have that pulled up. It's going to give you more information about the inside of the course itself. There are 4 full modules. There's over 6 hours of video training with me, plus written content for you to go through, and that workbook I mentioned. Oh, and the free Stop Calling Us Crazy course that I'm throwing in, because honestly, I really think that every woman just needs to have those tools to be able to walk through her day confidently, knowing who she is, and that even when we enter a space that wasn't meant for us, that we keep our integrity and our alignment with who we are as feminine women. Because being yourself is the privilege of a lifetime. And the world has told you that you can't be that. I'm here to tell you you can. And I'm here to show you how. I'm here to give you the tools, the guidance, and the steps you need to fully embody and embrace your femininity and to find the people and the loving person who are going to help support that and empower you on your path to becoming a satisfied woman. I can't thank you enough for being here with me today. Now, I hope that you'll take me up on my special offer for $300 off the full course, the free course, the workbook, the meditation, the community, all of it. I want you to join me. But no matter what you do, I appreciate your time. I hope that you've got something that you can take away with you and maybe even tell others about. Make sure that you find me at thesatisfiedwoman.com. Please join me for everything I have to offer. It's my pleasure to be here with you. I'm yours always in satisfaction and here to support your every effort on this path. Again, my name is Alanna Kaivalya. Join me for the course. I'll see you on the inside.